This is how to make friends. I'm a 25-year-old male, and during COVID and post-school, after high school, after I graduated college, it was much more challenging to make meaningful connections in my life. And through a lot of self-discovery and social exploration and trying new things, I began to understand how to make friends. After COVID, after how much isolation I was in, when things weren't going on in the outside world and I was plugged into my phone, I had to relearn how to socialize. I had to reteach myself, re-engage with people. It was like a practice. And so a lot of the information that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is all firsthand stuff. And I got a 4 simple step formula into how to make friends. And so the first step is you need to clarify, you need to visualize, you need to get a good idea of what kind of people you want to make your friends. Okay? Do you want people with similar interests to you? Do you want people that are concerned about improving themselves because you are? Do you want people that are sharing similar spiritual or political beliefs as you? What do you want your friends to look like? What demographic of people? Once you figure this out, this is going to give you a better idea of where your friends are at. Okay? You see, here's an example. For me personally, a lot of my friends that I used to hang out with smoked weed. And it became clear to me that I didn't want to smoke weed anymore. And so I went to a Marijuana's Anonymous meeting. And throughout the sharing and the connections I made afterward, I met a really good friend of mine. And he values meditation, he values spirituality, all things I mentioned when I shared during this meeting. And that was an awesome connection I made. And the one thing I had in mind when I wanted to make connections at this new connections was people that didn't smoke weed. And so that was a starting point for me. But the great thing about recovery and recovery circles like that is that it's an open place to share and an open place to connect with people. I'm a hippie at heart. Even though I dress preppy, I'm a hippie at heart. And so that was an area, that was a social setting where I knew I would find hippie type people that don't smoke weed. People like me. Number 2, this is by far the most important step that on this list that I've had in how to make friends. And it has to do with socializing. It has to do with in the moment when you are with people that you do want to make a connection with. And this is a well-known skill. This is something that came straight out of the Bible of how to make friends. Dale Carnegie, How to Make Friends and Influence Others. If you are really interested in how to make friends, you got to read that book. But step 2 is simply show interest in other people. If you want to talk to other people, the topic, the thing people are most comfortable talking about is themselves. And so if you want to start a conversation with somebody, if you want to make a connection and see what you have in common with someone, ask them what they're interested in. Ask them what things they do for fun. Ask them what their beliefs are in religion and what they believe in after they die. Ask them anything about themselves, and people are very comfortable a lot of the time talking about themselves. It's easy. You spend the most time with you. And so if you want to make connections, ask people about themselves. Be curious in other people. Show interest in others. And that is the most important step in this whole video. Show interest in other people. Now, I'm trying to make this a quick video, but that goes into a lot of body language, a lot of being genuine and authentic, and a lot of security within ourselves as well. And so you could do more research on that, but show interest in other people. Step 3. Step 3 is also very important. And a lot of what gets in the way of making friends is having a schedule prioritizing comfort, is having a schedule that has you isolate in your home. You see, if you get off work and if you're burnt out, if your energy is low, you're not going to want to talk to people. You're not going to want to socialize. So having a schedule, having times set to where you're going to some kind of social thing, going to some kind of thing to interact with people, to meet new people, is going to really ensure that you make more friends and that give you practice with being secure with yourself. Because if your schedule is work, eat, sleep, scroll on your phone, do things in your house, hang out with your cat, and then go to sleep, where are the opportunities there to meet people? In all honesty, how are you going to meet people? Maybe if you meet someone cool at your job, how often does that happen? So find social things to do. Meetup is an excellent resource to find fun social activities to do. You could look up anything on there. And if you're in a big city like Denver, decent sized city, Midwest, St. Louis, Chicago, if you're in California or New York or even Florida, there is going to be a lot of people on Meetup with specified group interests and activities. Now, smaller towns is a little harder, but even in small towns, you still got libraries, rec centers, you have neighbors. And so, step 3, put social activities in your schedule that is going to ensure that you practice socializing with people and also create the opportunities to make meaningful connections with others and find the friends you're trying to make. Step 4. Step 4 is in the realm of self-esteem, confidence. You see, if you have a hard time making friends because you don't know what to talk about, if people say, well, what about you? Tell me about yourself, and you don't know what to say, step 4 is simply do interesting things. Do things that are cool. Do things that make you excited, that you find are fun, that you could share with other people. Because sharing that light, that excitement with others also gives some value to them. If they see you're happy, that makes them happy. And so if you don't feel like you're interesting, if you don't feel like you have anything to talk about, read a book that interests you. Share some valuable information that you learned with somebody else. Talk about the challenges that you're facing playing some sport like basketball or baseball, kickball, doing something that you always wanted to do but never done, jiu-jitsu. Do something new, something exciting, and that's going to be interesting information that you could share with people. And if you're doing things that are interesting, if you're doing things that are fun, your perception of yourself is you're going to think you're more valuable. Your self-esteem is going to go higher if you're doing things like this. And when people see how you view yourself in the form of confidence, they're going to think you're interesting. They're going to think, I want to be this guy's friend. And so if you want friends, do cool stuff. Now, there are some challenges that definitely need assistance from another person that I've mentioned in this video. And self-esteem is something that is easier said than done. Learning that we are worthy of connection, we are good enough, that we do deserve somebody that cares about us, somebody that loves us, somebody that'll reach out to us, is hard sometimes, because sometimes we just don't think we're dang worth it. And that's a limiting belief in itself. And that belief that you don't think you're cool enough, you don't think you're good enough, that you're not qualified to have fun, interesting friends and connections, that limiting belief is going to inhibit you from making these connections. And so if you need assistance with your perception of yourself, if you need more assistance, you need somebody to talk to about what kind of friend groups you want, what kind of interests, what kind of people you're trying to pursue to recruit into your community, and how to do it, you can talk to me. You see, I'm a coach that specializes in how to make friends. And a lot of that is through my own experience, what I've learned within myself. And so if you need help with your limiting beliefs, if you need help with your confidence, please reach out to me, and I will leave my email in the description. I am willing to do a free consultation call and 1 to 3 free sessions, depending on my availability. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this information helped you guys, and please reach out to me if you need more help. Take care of yourselves. Peace.